And a very special welcome this morning to members of the Greater Fort Walton Beach Chamber of Commerce Military Affairs Committee. Thanks for being here, everyone. Character is like a tree, and reputation is like its shadow. The shadow is but a reflection, but the tree is the real thing. I think President Thomas Jefferson had these young leaders in mind when he said that. For not only do they exemplify the utmost of character and commitment and selfless service, they have excelled with distinction in one of the longest, most arduous, academically rigorous, and physically demanding training programs unique within the Defense Department. I'd like to talk to you about that for a moment and to share with you some of their achievements. The EOD course of instruction, as it exists in the military today, is the culmination of over 7 decades of best practices and lessons learned, many forged in combat and in various operations around the globe. Since 1941, some type of bomb disposal or EOD training has existed in the military in many different shapes and forms, culminating in the training program that these young people have completed today. Over about the last 30 years, we can say with certainty that more than 1 in 3 of those who start this course do not have what it takes to meet or exceed the very, very high standards. And as I tell them all on their first day of instruction, they need to know the facts. They need to know what they're getting into. They're all here for the same reason. They're all here because at some point in their lives, they made a decision. Not just to serve their country, which they've done well, but to be dedicated to a much higher purpose, a much more noble calling. What we know and love as the EOD community, indeed, the EOD family. Their duty, their calling, their character, as Jefferson would say it, from here forward, is to save lives, protect the innocent, and whenever they can, mitigate human suffering. At some point they realized what they do, what they will do as an EOD technician is not about them. It's about saving others. It's about understanding that the needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few or the one. And it's about understanding that freedom is not free. It must be fought for, it must be protected, and it must be passed on for our children to do the same. They learned that while they were here, but I think they understood it before they got here, mom and dad, family members, for what you've done to prepare them and set them out with the right values and the right qualities and the right ideals, raising them with caring and love as you have, and allowing them to answer their call. And allowing them to excel. I want to talk to you a little bit about our program of instruction. Very lengthy, very arduous. As I mentioned earlier, academically challenging, very physically demanding, and it's sometimes emotionally draining. Master Chief Brower and I talk to each class on their first day, and we start a new class in our basic course every 3 days. We train almost 2,000 aspiring EOD techs per year, and we graduate a little over 900. So you can see how difficult it is. Many are called, many answer that call, and even fewer have what it takes. As hard as our instructors work, many of whom are here with us today, finest instructor cadre in the world, as hard as they work to make sure that we have a very realistic, a very rigorous, and a very relevant training program, which we're always improving based upon recent conflicts and lessons learned, as hard as they work to prepare them for that, It pales in comparison to what they will face when the first time it's real. But we know they've been prepared well. We know they've been prepared for success in all that they do. Sometimes that training program can be almost 10 months long. And Master Chief and I always tell them it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. You have to have just the same tenacity and the same sense of urgency and the same sense of teamwork on the 6th month of training as you did on the first day. And even though we've got the inclement weather today, I think the future of our EOD community and the future of our military is bright indeed, looking into the eyes and the hearts and the souls of these young leaders here today. Very shortly here you will see a graduation ceremony with some tangible things. The awarding of the EOD badge, the only badge that is exactly the same between all 4 services in the United States military. I think that's for a reason. We train together, we operate together, we learn together, and we improve together. It starts here. And in this graduation ceremony, you'll see the awarding of the badge, the awarding of a diploma, a handshake, a smile, maybe a tear or two, some laughter, all well-deserved and all well-earned. But ladies and gentlemen, I ask you today to look for the intangibles, the qualities of selflessness, humility, quiet professionalism, teamwork, character, that although they are not engraved on the back of the badge, and although you won't find them printed on the diploma or in any of the testing plans that these students have engaged in while they're out on the range, I assure you they're here with us today. Look for them. And on that note, let's graduate this meeting.
Presenting the honor graduate certificates will be Captain Joseph Lannon, Commanding Officer, Naval School Explosive Ordnance Disposal, and Command Master Chief Brower. Ladies and gentlemen, the honor graduate for Class 12505 service is PFC Andrew R. Rowland.
And family members, please come up, take pictures from whatever angle you like. This is your day just as much as it's your graduate's day.
PFC Rowland will be pinned by Sergeant First Class Hillary.